The closest we've been to a merit-based society is modern times. In previous times, it was often the chance that guided your fate. In previous times, you had to be born in the right family, or you had to be a certain type of person. You had to be a son of a king, or born into nobility, or controlling trade routes, or in general, you had to have a bigger sense of purpose through your birth. Now, thanks to the idea of inclusiveness, this has changed. Some people think that the recent push in Western societies towards D&I are problematic, which I understand. Generally, using a quota-based system to have proportional representation is discriminatory in the workplace. It generally limits the people who are working based off of merit to enable their ability to go into these fields. But you have to look at the other side of it. Expanding the role of expanding applicants, expanding the ability for poor, smart, and underrepresented people to engage and advance their ability to work in these systems, to rise to the top of society by being pushed into these systems that allow them to succeed. You see, before the recent times, you had to be born into a certain type of family. You had to be born into, there was no chance for a poor and enterprising person to rise to the top. But now, thanks to a greater focus on not equity, but merit, there is more rewards for people who can enable themselves and work through intelligence and through persuasion and through grit, and not just grit, but through their own enhanced personalities. You wouldn't see people like Oprah Winfrey or Ben Carson succeed in situations before the 60s. You wouldn't see these because of these movements that have existed in the past, because of the movements that have allowed for a greater diversity of individuals in society. D&I has given an improvement in conditions for all people. And this is a beneficial thing for all of us. Now, there are problems with this. I have illustrated the problems that come from proportional representation. But by expanding the pool of people who can become elites, you enable a more merit-based system just by expanding the amount of people who can enhance themselves. And yes, there are problems with this, as I've said before, but this is ultimately a good thing, and D&I has done wonders for a movement for a better society. But I'm more cautious about D&I, and I'm more suspicious of D&I when it comes to enforcing diversity. We should be based off of merit, not diversity. And merit is something that should be achieved no matter what. But a merit-based system cannot happen without education being expanded for all, without opportunity being expanded for all, and without a system that allows for people who can enable themselves to push themselves beyond their parents' situation. So my general ideas about D&I is D&I is meritorious, actually, which is an unpopular opinion nowadays, but hopefully more people can realize that the emphasis towards diversity and inclusion, not necessarily equity, because we do not want equal outcomes for different work. We should focus on enabling a more diverse and inclusive future, but one that allows for merit to ultimately succeed. That's all I have to say. Thank you.